Good afternoon. How's everybody doing out there? Reggie Redfern coming to y'all here from the BreakthroughConscious.com in sunny Richmond, Virginia. As you can see, if you don't know anything about me, I love the warm weather. I love the warm season, the sunny weather. So this is perfect for me. I get to come outside and make videos. So the sun is that way so that you can actually see me, but it's a beautiful sunny day. It's probably about maybe 75 degrees out here today, so that's kind of perfect. And I'm just out in the yard, and the video I wanted to cut today, as you can see the title, is something that I don't know how many people ponder, but it's certainly something that I've thought about for a long time in life, and definitely since my first after-school job. My first after-school job was at Shoney's, a restaurant called Shoney's. And I'll never forget, I worked for, you have to work a week in the hole, what it's called. and I remember, so I worked 3 weeks and I got that first paycheck. And that paycheck was for $168. And I'll never forget the first thought that came to my head when I cracked that check, 16 years old. I said, now I know good and well that the man who run this restaurant made a whole lot more than $168 in the last 3 weeks that I've been coming here every day after school. And that's where my entrepreneur dreams and aspirations begin, because I knew that that paycheck wasn't it. But this video is about why financial literacy is not taught in school. And that's what I've pondered many a times. And if you've never sat back, I want you to do it now and think, why in the world is it that, we go to school and we're taught that, all of these things that we learn in school is so important. School is so important. You got to make good grades. You have to learn this curriculum. You have to learn these facts. You have to learn these things. And what do they serve you when you get out of school? I mean, I don't have to make an assumption about this. I'm someone who went to public school. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Besides counting and reading, I don't know how much I used that I learned in grade school. And my mama taught me how to read and count for real. So I don't know, how much, what we spent so much time in school learning serves our lives when we leave school, and certainly our greater purpose. And it would be very helpful if one of the things that, our society found important was to teach us financial literacy. I mean, my goodness, the second we leave school, we become young adults who are responsible for our own finances. As soon as we leave high school, we go into debt. That's finances. Because you tell us we need to go to college now, too. So we go to college, we get in more debt in college than we'll make in 5 years when we leave college. Some of y'all understand that because you're going to be paying them college loans you have for the rest of your life. Some of you know you ain't never paying off those college loans. Some of you know that you'll still be paying on your college loan when you're trying to put your kids in college. You see, so why do we not learn about financial literacy in school? So that when you leave school, you understand how to generate cash flow. I think that might be important. Okay, so why aren't we taught the difference between money and currency? Okay, why aren't we, at best you might get how to balance a checkbook, okay? But why aren't we getting things like understanding good debt and bad debt? You see, these are all real life things. These are all things that everybody, certainly once you become an adult, these things apply to your life. These are skills that you need to know. These are facts that you need to know. But yet and still, there's no system to teach you this. Even when you go to college, you can study banking and finance. You can study business administration. You can get an MBA. It's not going to teach you how to generate money. It's not going to teach you the fundamentals of money. It's not going to teach you what that guy on Wall Street knows that he's not telling you so that he can earn off of your what you think is going to be there for your retirement. So financial literacy, to me, is high on the list of priorities of any adult in America. So in answering that question, because I happen to know why financial literacy has been left out of the general school system, I'm gonna back up, okay, and just give you a bit of history about our educational system, where it comes from, where it originated, who it originated from, and what's the purpose of it. Okay, and as I quickly go through this, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll understand why somebody decided to leave your financial literacy out of your education. Now, the General Board of Education was created back in the early 1900s, okay, 1901 or 1903. Don't kill me if I don't get the absolute date right, okay, y'all. It's early 1900s, which if you do a little bit of American history study, you'll find that so many things took place. So many things took place at the turn of the century, from, you know, 1900 to 1910 to 1915. And believe it or not, guys, the same thing is happening right now. There's so much has changed since 2000. As a matter of fact, isn't it ironic that we got September 11th 1 year into the new millennium, and September 11th was an event that has sparked so much change in this country, you know, and as it pertains to monetary things, I hope you guys see that the monetary system is changing yet again, as it did in the early 1900s. It's evolving, it's growing, it's transferring, it's transforming. And for those who don't understand the fundamentals of money and finance and financial literacy, you're gonna get left out. You're gonna find yourself holding on to what you think is an asset that's not worth anything, while the people who have all the inside knowledge have taken advantage of this situation, and they find themselves richer. Hence the age-old saying, the rich get richer and the poor get poor. The poor get poor because they don't have any financial literacy. They don't have a financial IQ. And the rich get richer because they do. So they can see where the tides are going, and they put themselves in the way of wealth. Meanwhile, those who do not have that financial literacy don't realize that the transfer of the wealth is coming from them and going to those who are rich, who already got a bunch of money. But the Board of Education was started in I believe it was 03. Okay. Now, who was that started by? Well, it was started by the Rockefeller Foundation, the Rockefeller family, John D. Rockefeller. I hope that I just taught you something right there, because I don't know how many of y'all knew. I knew before I learned that I didn't know that the Rockefellers are the people who shaped my education. That alone tells some of y'all right there why financial literacy was kept out of your general education. Now, the Rockefeller family is an oil family, a banking family. Certainly they understand financial literacy, financial IQ, finances, money, currency, investment, the whole nine. And while they were, you know, mapping out what you should learn to make you a productive citizen, to make you able to live the American dream, they said, well, we won't even bother to teach them all this stuff we know about money. Why is that? Well, that's because the Rockefeller family, and in large part the Carnegie family and the Carnegie Foundation, and to many of you surprise as well, the Ford Foundation, all work together in shaping how the common man should be trained, okay, and educated and indoctrinated. And it was all predicated upon their agenda to dominate and control. So your educational system isn't one that's meant to empower you. It's one that is meant and put in place to make you easier to control and be dominated by the people who intend and who look to control and dominate you. I'll just add a quick point. These same people also knew that dominating you by force, dominating you directly right to your face, it wasn't working anymore. That's called imperialism. And it wasn't working anymore. So they realized, well, we need a more subtle means of it, or a subtle delivery of imperialism in order to dominate the way in which we want to. You know, the iron fist thing of the Roman Empire was just, it was dying away. The British iron fist, it was dying away. And America became the next leader, and the people who were running America said, well, we're going to do a little different. You know, we're going to fool the people into thinking we're giving them something. That's how they rule, by stealth, shadow government, however you want to call it. All right. So with the school system, it's interesting that first and foremost, they were shaping the education of the South, the Negro South. And as for the rest of you Negroes, as I am, it's interesting that they decided that it wouldn't be in the Negro's best interest to teach him how to be a thinker, you know, to teach him how to be a visionary. That's outside of his realm of understanding. His education should be dominated by vocational and agricultural skills. And we'll save all of the theoretic thinking and things of that nature for the white man. So therefore, and this is still the way the education system works, because it worked in the South. It worked with the ancient Negro, what I call the ancient Negro. And so what the Rockefellers and the Carnegies and the Fords and a couple of other foundations that eventually got on board found that since it's working, we should spread it. And so it spread into Africa. They started using the same techniques in Africa, and then in Asia, and then in other developed countries. And after a while, they used it on, you know, white America as well, because endless workforce secures their wealth and their position and their dominance forever, for eternity. Even after John D. Rockefeller dies, David Rockefeller will pick up, because the outsiders, the common man, has been indoctrinated, and he doesn't even know that he's going to teach his kids something that Granddaddy Rockefeller taught him, that's going to not benefit him but benefit Granddaddy Rockefeller. Now you're going to teach that to your kid to benefit grandson Rockefeller. So grandson Rockefeller don't have to re-indoctrinate you. You're going to do that for them. You're going to indoctrinate your children for them. That's why it's so important for me. That's why it's so important for my family, and why we focus so much in the Empower Network in making the mind shifts. Because you have to think outside of the box. You have to untrap your thinking, because your thinking has been pigeonholed. Even the eyes in which you see out of. We see out of really, what do they call those things you put on the horses just to keep them looking in one direction? We call it mainstream media. You look at mainstream media and they tell you what to think, even if it makes absolutely no sense. Like two, you know, monumental towers built to, you know, withstand the test of time can be diminished into dust and ashes from a fire. From a fire. There'd be no demolition business if you could bring a building down like that by fire. Yeah, this bird poop on your chair. That's my toddler. I'm outside and letting her play, y'all. You want to be on the camera real quick? Want to say hi? Hey, you got to come up here on Daddy's level. Say hi. This is my why, y'all. This is my 3-year-old.
Hi.
This is my why. This is my inspiration. This is why I'm making this type of video, because I don't see any point in sending my daughter to school to teach her that Christopher Columbus discovered something when Christopher Columbus ain't discovered shit. Why are we still telling that lie amongst so many other lies? And if I know it's a lie, and anybody my age group that I talk to go, well, don't you know by now that Christopher Columbus didn't discover anything? Everybody goes, yeah, Christopher Columbus didn't discover nothing. Why it's still in the books? That's still in the books. So let's get, hold on. Okay, look, you're just gonna have to stand up here while Daddy talks, okay? Now, that system of training began to work, because basically what it did was it made workers, y'all. It created workers. And that's what the general education system wants to do, is create workers so that you can go out there and work in a field that is controlled and owned and manipulated by the rich, the elite, and the powerful, and you continue to fill their coffers with more money, because you're not trained to think. You're not trained to dream. You're not trained to be a visionary. You're not trained to practice the power of belief. You're not trained to practice meditation. You're not trained to practice the secret.
If you're Wi-Fi, you can do
so that you can make of your life whatever it is you choose. You're trained to be a worker and think as a laborer, so that you can go out and get a job and work on someone's corporate plantation. You know, just because you changed it from a field to an office building, you just got corporate plantations. So why am I telling all of you this? I'm telling you this first to open your mind. Hopefully I piqued some of your interest. Hopefully some of y'all are going to get on the computer tonight and Google General Board of Education or Rockefeller's created education in America or something that you will validate what I'm saying. And you can validate it. I'm not getting on this camera to make up stuff, only so people can come back and say, man, you made all of that up. No, validate it, because it's there. I want you to. I want you to keep seeking for things that are not widely taught, because those are the things that you need to know.
Daddy,
And I'm telling you all this because,
I can do a zebra.
okay, sweetie, that's a very good job. I'm telling you all of this because I want you to make a shift. I want you to join me in living in that shift. Understand that a financial literacy is important to your financial future. It's important to the financial future of your children. She's okay. And if you guys want to learn along with me, if you want to join me in tapping back into the power of what you can achieve, tapping into the power of limitless belief. I say that a lot. I say it a lot for a reason. Okay? If you're looking to increase your financial literacy and learn how it is you earn money outside of punching a clock, outside of exchanging your time for money, which, first of all, understand that if you exchange time for money, you just limited your income potential, because you can't spend 24 hours on that job. And then the man who runs that job tells you what you're worth. That's the same way that the Rockefeller educational system did it with the Southern Negro. Put him in the field. First of all, you only teach him things that are relative to the field, because that's where, being that he was taken out of his natural environment, he's been put into an environment where he can't learn now how to be a doctor or a lawyer or a literary writer. We don't need to teach them literary skills. Let's teach them how to grow food. Let's teach them how to till this land. Let's teach them how to, run behind this mule. Same thing. We'll teach you how to get a job. We'll give you a skill that will allow you to go out and get a good job. But I'll be damned if we'll teach you how to go out and how to use your brain to put things in place that will generate wealth, whether you are literally or physically there or not. See, David Rockefeller generated wealth, but I bet you he don't show up to his businesses every day. The man and his family, they own 80% of the pharmaceutical industry. Look it up. You want to know why medical school students are taught what they're taught? Because the Rockefeller Foundation has manipulated that as well. And at some point in time in medical school history, they funded study in the drug-based direction versus lifestyle, holistics, herbal. Those things were taken off the table, and they were replaced with drug-based teachings, drug-based indoctrination. They didn't have to force it. That's not the way it operates. If you think, oh, well, you got muscled by the Rockefeller Foundation. No. Their money supports a certain direction, and you either go with that direction or what you want to study gets pushed out with you. So everybody gradually conforms. And the next thing you know, all you're taught and told about is that the way the medicine works is you just take some more drugs. I hope y'all are getting this. And if you want to get out of that rat race in the mind, if you want to get out of being trapped in that maze, click the link below this video and let me show you how myself and over 125,000 people are doing that as well. And that's a small group of people, y'all. When you consider just the population in America, and that 125,000 people come from, that's globally. You want to be a part of that small group. Shift your mind. Stop living in the rat race. Understand that you can generate income by using this up here rather than all of this. This is exactly what they want us brothers using, is this right here. And you too, if you're not African American. I don't want to speak only to the African American community, because right now, color honestly doesn't matter in this country to me as much as the color of skin. It does matter, doesn't matter as much as the color of money. Green is the big color, okay? It's poor white folks out here that the power elite don't care about either, because you're poor. You're in the wrong class. And you think this is still your country because, hey, you're white. These people don't care about it. Matter of fact, half of them ain't white. Half of them are Jewish. And their loyalty is to their Jewish heritage versus their national heritage or their ancestral heritage. That's a whole nother video. That's a whole nother video. But I hope I have impressed upon you the importance of financial literacy, and I hope I've piqued your interest to want to figure out a little bit more about your school system and what you're being taught and why you're not being taught the things you need to know, especially if what you want to do is grow wealth, live a comfortable life, not be concerned about money, not be concerned about the next bill and how the next bill is going to get paid and living paycheck to paycheck. And if that's the life you want to live, then I encourage you to join hands with me, lock arms with me and the rest of the Empower Network. And let's do exactly what we did and had an event in Chicago and named it Get Money. And if you're anything like me, after you get money, you want to know what the right thing to do with that money. All of this is for the taking. I'm eating it up, y'all. I want you to join me. So I'm going to tell you to click the link below the video, changelifeuniversity.com. Get some information for yourself that'll serve your life, serve your grander purpose. Peace. Love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next sunny day video. Y'all have a good one.